Yo, what is going on, everybody? Get Buckets here, and we're back with a basketball video. And for today's video, we're gonna be talking about one team that plays in Staples Center, one team that was favored to win the 2020 NBA championship, one team that, according to most people, had the best player in the world, not by me but most people in the NBA. And that is the Los Angeles Clippers. We're going to be talking about the LA Clippers. So, the Clippers are in a really bad situation right now. So, let's go back to a trade that happened last summer. Let's go back to a trade that happened in the summer 2019 that the Clippers made. This trade, if you never heard of it, if you never heard of the trade, it was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, not one, not two, not even three, but 5 first-round pick. And they got one person. And if you guys don't know who that person is, his name is Paul George. The Clippers gave up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, young player who could be a star player in the future, who could make the All-Star, a young player, a good player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You can make an argument that Shai Gilgeous right now is better than Paul George based on how Paul George played in the playoffs. You can make an argument that Shai Gilgeous is better than Paul George. Not only that they gave up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they gave up Danilo Gallinari. And they gave up 5 first-round picks. 5, not 1, not 2, not even 3, but 5 first-round picks. I think the Lakers, they gave up like the Lakers gave up like 3 first-round picks and some young players for Anthony Davis. So not even the Lakers gave up 5 first-round picks for Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis is way better than Paul George. So the Clippers, they basically messed their future up. Like, if the Clippers do not win the championship this season, which I don't think they will, I think the Lakers are going to go back-to-back. Like, the Lakers improved their roster. If the Clippers do not win it out this season, there's a chance that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, they leave next offseason. And they're stuck with nothing. They're left with nothing. All they are left with is probably a Patrick Beverley, who averages like 100 trash talks per game. Like, yeah, Patrick Beverley, all he does is trash talks. I mean, his defense is pretty good though, but he ain't no Marcus Smart, who people thought he would be. So if they do lose Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, the Clippers are in big trouble. All they're gonna be left with is Lou Williams, chicken wings, Lou Williams, Patrick Beverley, who trash talks all day. And that's about it. And they don't have Landry Shamet anymore. They got Luke Kennard now. But the Clippers gave out Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, they're gonna regret that. Like, 2 years from now, the Clippers are gonna regret trading all those first-round picks for Pandemic P, Playoff P, PG 13%, Way Off P, whatever you call them. They're gonna regret trading all those 5 first-round picks and a young star player and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah, the Clippers, they really messed up. They gave up too much for Paul George. At the time, people said that this trade wasn't too bad for the Clippers. But looking back at it right now, at this moment, that trade was horrible for the Clippers. For the Thunder, that was great. The Thunder got their first-round picks. They got their young player in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They got Danilo Gallinari, even though Danilo is now on the Miami Heat now. Well, not on the Miami Heat, on the Atlanta Hawks. Avery Bradley went to the Miami Heat. But yeah, the Clippers, like, they could have kept Shai Gilgeous and Danilo Gallinari in those 5 first-round picks, and they could have traded Gallinari for more picks or another young player. But instead, they traded 5 first-round picks. They traded Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They traded Danilo Gallinari, who is now in the Atlanta Hawks, to the OKC Thunder, which they're gonna regret. next season, if they don't win a championship this season, next offseason, if Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, they leave, or if they request a trade, then yeah, the Clippers are gonna regret trading all those picks for Paul George. They gave up 5. I mean, I get it. Paul George that season, he finished third in MVP. I think he finished like third in MVP. He had a great season. Playoffs, when the playoffs came around, he played like Paul George in the playoffs. He played horrible. But yeah, though, the Clippers, I don't know. Clippers are in big trouble right now. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know how Clipper fans feel about this. Like, they recently got Serge Ibaka. They lost Montrezl Harrell to the other team, to their quote-unquote enemy. They lost Montrezl Harrell to the Lakers, their rivals, if you can say that. They lost Montrezl to the Lakers, but they got Serge Ibaka back. Which Serge Ibaka he's okay. He's pretty good. He can definitely help the Clippers more on the center position. But yeah, the Clippers are in a really bad situation right now. If they don't win a championship this year, there's a chance that Kawhi Leonard leaves, Paul George leaves, and that means they're not gonna be left with any first round picks, which means the OKC Thunder. If the Clippers if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard leave and the Clippers become like trash, like let's say like a New York Knicks, like they become like trash, like the New York Knicks, then the Thunder are gonna have those picks. The OKC Thunder, they're gonna have the Clippers pick. If they get the 5th pick, that's going to the Clippers. I mean, that's going to the Thunder, not the Clippers. That's going to the OKC Thunder. That is gonna go to Sam Presti. Sam Presti loves his first round picks. So yeah, not even did the Lakers give up 5 first round pick for Anthony Davis. Not even. And Anthony Davis is a billion times better than Paul George. Like, Anthony Davis is way better than Pandemic P. But the Clippers, they're in a bad situation. Could have had Shai Gilgeous 5 first round picks. They could have kept it, but instead they did the wrong choice, and they obviously possibly messed up their future. I don't know how Clipper fans feel about this. I don't know if they're worried too. I mean, I'm not worried. I'm a Laker fan. I don't really care. But like, it's true though. They messed up their future. Let's see what happens this season though. The Western Conference is really, like, it's gonna be harder than it was last season. The Lakers got better. The Lakers, they obviously got Dennis Schroeder. They got Montrezl Harrell, 2 20 points per game scorer off the bench. Marcus Gasol as well. The Thunder too. The Thunder are pretty good. They're looking pretty good. The Pelicans are looking good as well. Denver Nuggets, of course, would have been the Warriors if Klay Thompson never got injured. But the Western Conference is gonna be really good this year. This is gonna be a fun year for the Western Conference and for the Eastern Conference as well. KD is gonna come back. Kyrie Irving, the Brooklyn Nets. But yeah, if you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, please like this video. If you agree with me that the Clippers are in a really bad situation right now, they just gave up their entire future for Pandemic P, Playoff P, Way Off P, PG 13%, whatever you call them. They gave up their entire future for that one person, which, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Clippers are gonna do. They gotta do something. If they don't win a championship this year, and they don't trade Kawhi Leonard or Paul George, they decline their player option, they become free agent next season, the Clippers are in a bad situation. But yeah, just like I said, if you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, please like this video if you agree with me that the Clippers are in a bad situation and that they overpaid for Paul George. They gave up too much assets for Paul George. And yeah, also subscribe for new. And I'm out.